Have you ever had a conversation where you're talking, but you're not really connecting? Where you're saying all the right words, but somehow you're missing the mark entirely? We've all been there. Maybe it's with a friend, a spouse, even a boss. You walk away feeling like you spoke a different language, even though you used the same words. Here's what might surprise you. The same thing can happen in our prayer life. Prayer isn't just about getting our requests heard. It's about aligning our hearts with the heart of God. But sometimes, we can pray passionately, pray consistently, and still find ourselves praying outside of God's will. Today, we're going to explore 5 telltale signs that might indicate your prayers aren't hitting the target you think they are. First sign, your prayers sound more like a Christmas wish list than a conversation with your Creator. Look, God cares about your desires. He really does. But when every prayer is God, give me this, or God, fix that, without any consideration of His character or His purposes, we've turned prayer into a cosmic vending machine. The Psalms are full of requests, but they're also full of worship, confession, and surrender. David didn't just ask for victory over his enemies. He asked for a clean heart. There's a difference between bringing our needs to God and demanding He serve our agenda. Second, you're praying for something that contradicts clear biblical principles. This might sound obvious, but it's surprisingly common. Praying for success in a business venture that requires you to compromise your integrity? Asking God to bless a relationship that pulls you away from Him? Or even praying for revenge against someone who hurt you? God's will is never contrary to His word. As John Piper puts it in Desiring God, God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in Him. If what we're praying for would ultimately diminish our satisfaction in God, we might need to pause and reconsider. Third sign, your prayers are fueled by fear, anxiety, or anger, rather than faith and love. Now, don't misunderstand me. We can bring our fears and anxieties to God. The Psalms are proof of that. But when our prayers become attempts to control outcomes because we don't trust God's goodness, that's different. Fear-based prayer says, God, you have to do this, or everything will fall apart. Faith-based prayer says, God, I trust you with this outcome because I trust your heart toward me. One tries to manage God, the other surrenders to Him. Fourth, you're essentially trying to negotiate with God rather than submit to Him. This is when prayer becomes more like a business transaction. God, if you do this, then I'll do that. Or, God, I've been good, so now you owe me. But here's the reality. We don't earn God's favor through our behavior, and we can't bargain our way into His will. True prayer recognizes that God is God and we are not. It's the difference between trying to convince God to join our plans and asking to be part of His. And finally, your prayers lack any gratitude or acknowledgement of what God has already done. When we only come to God with our hands out, never with our hearts full of thanksgiving, we've missed the relational aspect of prayer entirely. Gratitude isn't just good manners, it's good theology. It reminds us of God's faithfulness, His provision, and His love. When we start our prayers with thanksgiving, it shifts our perspective from what we lack to what we've been given. Now, if you recognize yourself in any of these signs, don't panic. God doesn't give up on us when we pray imperfectly. His love isn't conditional on our prayer performance. Here's the beautiful truth. God is more interested in transforming your heart than in giving you everything you ask for. When we align our prayers with His will, we don't lose our voice, we find it. We discover that His plans are better than our wishes, and His timing is perfect, even when it's not immediate. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and let's keep growing together. And here's my question for you. Which of these 5 signs hit closest to home for you today? drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation about authentic prayer. Remember, it's not about praying perfectly. It's about praying honestly, humbly, and in alignment with the one who loves you more than you could ever imagine.